So, what to wear on the trail? That is the question, and it is not about fashion. Stay tuned. Okay, so I'm going to take you through all of my clothing choices, and as I mentioned, this is a lot of gear. Obviously, this is not all going with me, but it's important to see, at least I think, kind of where I started and what the thought process was for what I'm going to take and what I'm going to leave home. So one of the very first things that took me a long time to find was actually a sports bra that I like, and I finally found one from Awakens that is nice enough that it can be worn on its own, doesn't just look like underwear. I feel like it'll give me the support I need, the wicking and the cooling that I'll need when it's real hot. It's easy to wash out, dry quickly, that sort of thing. And so I think this is going to be perfect for me. I've tried several, taken them out on the trail, and just finally got the right thing, which is not easy. The other very bottom layer is underwear, and I have two pairs of ex officios here. I did try the Fruit of the Loom breathable undies. I got real excited when I saw those because I thought, oh wow, that's going to save me a lot of money. The ex officios are 20 something a pair, and I just didn't want to spend that kind of money. But after testing the Fruit of the Loom for a few months, I realized that they are not going to hold up on the trail the way I would like. And these two pairs I think will work out perfectly. I only need two pairs because I can wear one, wash the other one out. They will dry very quickly, so I can just rotate every day and always have a clean pair of underwear. Next up is socks, and I do wear liner socks. I wear these Injinji toe socks, which I know some people absolutely love these and some people are not fans, but for me they've been absolutely perfect. I have been wearing them on all my training hikes and I have not had a blister yet. So this is the first thing that goes on my feet in the morning, and I will be taking two pairs, and again, because I can rotate, so I'll have one pair on my feet and one pair in my pack. And then I actually, through Massdrop, got a deal on 3 pairs, so I have an extra pair at home that my husband can send me if for some reason one of those should start to fall apart, or if I lose a sock, God forbid, something like that. So have an extra pair just as backup. Then I also have 3 pairs of Darn Tough socks, or excuse me, with Smartwool socks. I started with the Darn Tough, and they just, they weren't quite right for me. So I tried the Smartwool, and again, they're expensive. This stuff is not cheap, but I found that I could get them either on sale at REI or through one of the other gear providers. Over the Injinjis, they feel great. Like I said, I haven't had any blisters yet, so this is my plan. I'll be taking 2 pairs of those. Haven't decided yet which color combo I'm gonna go with, but I'll be taking 2 pairs of liners and rotating those out. When I get to camp at night, I will switch out to dry socks. So I will be not using the Darn Toughs, which I thought might be good sleep socks. I found these Farm to Feet that are a little bit looser on me, and they actually work better to keep my feet warm, because if you wear something that's too tight when it's real cold, it's going to inhibit your circulation. And I believe I mentioned in a different video that I have Raynaud's syndrome, which is a circulatory disease, and sometimes your fingertips and toes will shut down. You don't get a lot of good circulation, so they get cold, even for me just walking through the freezer aisle in the grocery store. So these Darn Tough socks are just the bomb. So these are going with me, and they're one of those I love it kind of items. I'm very happy to have these. So also when I get into camp and I change into sleep clothes, I'm going to be wearing basically long underwear to sleep in. And I have 2 different pairs. The first ones I got were when I first started hiking last year at Walmart. It was the end of the season and they were clearing out the Cuddle Duds. And these are, they're called Climate Right, but they're made by Cuddle Duds. And they're very, very lightweight fabric, which is good when it's not cool, because I can just wear these as a lightweight layer in the spring and in the early fall and be comfortable. I was in Costco and they had the 32 degree zero, and these are a little bit more like leggings. The fabric feels a little bit more cottony, different type of waistband, and they're good, but they weigh just a hair more than the ones by Cuddle Duds, and the fabric on these is a little slicker. So if I want to wear these as long underwear when it's cold, they will fit right under my leggings, which I'll show you in a minute. So this is my layer of choice. The other thing that I will sleep in, and at the same time that I bought the bottoms, I got this purple top at Walmart, also Climate Right. And it's very comfortable, very lightweight, will do me well in the warmer weather, as long as it's not too hot. But I found myself in REI one day, big surprise, and they had this Royal Robbins top that is wool. It's washable wool, and I have used this on my recent hikes, and I find that it's even more comfortable. I love sleeping in it. I love the natural fiber, and so this is the shirt that's going to go with me. It weighs a little bit more than the Climate Right one, but I've decided that this is worth the extra grams, so I'm going to take this one, and being wool, even if for some reason I get wet at night, it will still keep me warm, which is nice. Another thing I purchased when I first started hiking was these t-shirts from Columbia. I have 2 of them, and they are the Omni Wick, and in the summertime these are nice. When you sweat, you cool off real quickly, and I learned not long after I started hiking, of course somebody told me cotton kills, so you can't wear cotton. So I went out and I picked these up, and I thought they would be going on my thru hike with me, but I've discovered that I actually want something a little bit more versatile than a short sleeve shirt, especially if I'm going to be wearing a longer shirt or longer sleeve shirt over the top. So both of these little t-shirts from Columbia are great for day hikes, but they're going to be staying home and not going on my thru hike. What I found instead was a couple of tank tops. This one is from Marmot, and it's kind of a racer back, but it's a wider racer back, so there's not too much skin exposed. And it's got a nice cottony feel to it. Again, even though it's not cotton, the fabric is, let's see here. It is polyester mostly and elastane. And like I said, it's from Marmot. It dries real quick. And this I found is a very nice base layer on a cold day for hiking. And I tend to layer up more than some of you may, but I get real cold. So I'd rather have more layers and be able to take them off if I get warm. But I did find on another day, just wandering through REI, I have a habit of doing that when I have nothing better to do, is this little Patagonia tank. And this is more lightweight, very similar in style. The thing that I don't love about it is that it does feel a little bit more plasticky. It's 100% polyester, but it is so lightweight. It will be perfect in the summertime, and it's also great as that very first base layer. So having to choose between the 2 of these, I will be going with the pink one. And the reason I'm choosing is that originally I thought I might be taking 2 full sets of clothes, tops, mid-layer, leggings, or pants, the whole thing. And I've since learned that that's not really necessary, especially because I'm going to have the sleep clothes, so I'll have something dry to put on when I get into camp. And if I need to wash something out, I will have a pair of shorts that I'll show you in a minute. So I have some options, and I don't need to carry that extra weight of another full set of clothes. So I'm going with my sleep clothes, my daytime hiking clothes, and then some summer clothes to have just a couple of options. So, okay, next up is my mid-layer. And again, I bought a lot of stuff when I first started hiking and backpacking, particularly when I went on that backpacking 101 trip. I had about 2 weeks to prepare. I didn't know what to buy, and so I got some things that definitely are not thru hike worthy, but are great just for around the house and for day hikes. And one of them is this hooded t-shirt from Columbia. I'm fortunate we have a Columbia outlet close by, and so I can run in there and pick up some things and get some massive bargains, which is nice. This one is partly cotton. It's very comfortable. Would be great to sleep in camp if you wanted, but I don't really need it. I do want a shirt that is kind of that mid-layer, maybe 2, and I'll show you. So I went and I got this Capilene shirt because everybody had been talking about how great these are. This, it's that kind of waffle weave on the inside, and again, it's polyester, so it feels like polyester. It does well as a mid-layer. It goes great over the tank top. It's not too bulky. So this is good and will be going on my hike with me, but I have to say it's not my absolute favorite shirt just because I want something that's a little bit more comfortable, but it does the job of keeping me warm. So I'll be taking it to start, and if I decide to shed some layers, literally, and send a few things home, this one might come home. An alternative to that would be the Columbia with, I think they call it heat gear, that's got the reflection inside it. The black one is nice because I could wear it on its own, and it does zip front, so that's nice. It's just like a little quarter zip. I like it, and I'll be deciding between the two, but odds are the Capilene will be the one that's going with me. Then as a layer over that, I just found a top at Walmart one day, and I thought, well, let me just gamble on that and see how it works out. And it's a workout top. It's also polyester, but it's got a brushed feeling to it, so it's a little bit softer. It's got the thumb holes so that you can pull it down over your fingers if you want, and it's got a hood. And the thing I like about this top is that the hood has actually served me extremely well on cold days or windy days, because I can just, if I'm hiking and I don't have it on, I just pull it up when I get a little bit cool. It does an amazing job of blocking the wind, and I'm just finding that this top, even though full price it was like $12 or $13, so it was cheap. It is starting to smell a bit like a hiker, even though I've washed it. I know that's going to happen. But I really like it. In fact, I like it so much. You've probably seen it in a lot of my videos. And when I went into Walmart and they had it on clearance, I went and picked up another one, because I think if this one wears out on the trail, I'm going to want a backup. So this is a huge winner for me, and definitely a budget item, but sometimes the things that are cheaper actually work out to be just what you need. So I'm very happy to have this. So over those two layers, I like to have a fleece. And this is another one of my early hiker purchases from Columbia. Again, this is a super lightweight fleece. I was wearing this when I did my wilderness first aid class, and we were outside most of the time and also sitting around, and I've worn it on days hiking over my other layers, and it was fine, but it was a little snug and didn't keep me quite as warm. So I thought, maybe, even though this is ultra light, maybe I want a fleece that is a little bit warmer. So a friend of mine told me about some that were on sale at Old Navy, and my first reaction, she said, oh, they've got fleeces for $9 at Old Navy. That was Nikon, thank you, Nikon. And I said, oh, I don't need another fleece, I've got one. But that was before I realized that this one wasn't keeping me quite as warm. So I was in the store a few days later, and I saw this one, which is much bigger for me, which is actually great because it's kind of loose and just comfortable. And sometimes it's better to have a little bit more airflow under your clothes or between your layers to keep you warm. It's got the thumb holes, which the other one doesn't. It's got pockets, so it's like a kangaroo pocket, so I can throw things in there when I'm wandering around camp. And it's just a great extra layer, and it's loose enough and comfortable enough that I can sleep in it and be really toasty. So it weighs a couple ounces more than the other fleece. It's a little bit bulky too, but I think I've got room in my pack, so probably 90% that this will be going instead of the Columbia one. On top of that, from the waist up, I will be wearing, hopefully, my Mountain Hardwear Ghost Whisperer. You may have seen that in some of my other videos, but I damaged it at the wilderness first aid class. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but there was a slit in the back and some of the feathers started coming out. So when I got home, I contacted Mountain Hardwear to see if they could fix it for me, and I sent it back. Hopefully they'll be able to repair it for me so that I can take that on my hike, because I'm absolutely in love with that jacket. I do have this puffy from Halogen, and if I have to wear it in a pinch, I will until the Mountain Hardwear one comes back. As far as pants, I started out thinking you had to look like the traditional hiker. So I have bought myself some pants from Cool. They're nice pants. They're very rugged, but they're partly cotton and they're pretty heavy, and they won't work for a through hike. I also have these Columbia zip-off pants, which a lot of people like because they're convertible. They are super lightweight. They're the PFG line Omni shade, so they have the sun protection in them, very lightweight, would dry very quickly, but they don't have a lot of give. And for me, if I'm hiking for 8 hours a day, I just want to be comfortable, and they're just not quite that as comfortable as what I would like. So I started looking around for leggings, and I have tons of workout leggings, and I know I could wear those, but they're not super durable. I found these hiking leggings that are more heavy duty, and they're not hot, surprisingly. They have a nice brushed cotton kind of feel to them, even though they're not cotton. They're very, very comfortable. An added bonus of having the tight legs is that I can pull my liner socks up over them and then put my other socks on, and it keeps my legs completely covered. So that gives me a little bit of comfort that I don't have ticks jumping on my legs. Although I will switch to shorts in the summer, and that may be a concern. The shorts that I have are a pair of North Face, but these are so comfortable. They are just, I don't know, I'm so glad that I picked them up. They'll dry fast. When I reach a pond and want to go swimming, these and my sports bra will be a great alternative to a bathing suit. They've got pockets, so I can throw things in there if I'm wearing them around camp. I can sleep in them. And one other way I could wear these shorts is on a cold night. If I'm sleeping in those long underwear and I'm cold around the hips, which I do tend to be, I could throw these on. But they don't have any insulation or anything like that. So if it's, I don't know, below 30, 35, I'll probably want something a little bit warmer. And so I splurged on, call this a luxury layer. It is a down skirt. I got this thinking I could sleep in it, but I've also been wearing it over my leggings to hike in. And it's great. It just, even when it's windy, and that is one downside with leggings, is that they're so close to your skin. If it's cold, the wind sometimes can go right through. So this is a great extra layer and weighs, I haven't weighed it, but I would guess maybe 2 to 3 ounces. So this is definitely going to be in my pack to start. And it even occurred to me that I could use this as a pillow if I decided to ditch one of my 2 pillows. This around a stuff sack would be really, really comfortable to use in the warmer months. So it may end up staying with me for the thru-hike, for the whole hike. We'll see. When it is cold and windy, my rain pants come in really handy. So I had a pair of North Face Venture half zip, I think is what they were. They were heavy duty, good rain pants. They had side pockets. They were very nice, but I wanted to lighten up. So I got these Patagonia, the Alpine Houdinis. The only pocket they have is a little pocket on the thigh that you can actually fold them up into, which is a nice feature. And I know I'm gonna be in a lot of rain. I know it's hot. I may not really even wanna wear these in the rain. I may just wanna let my legs get wet. But for the winter as wind pants and to keep me warm and dry, when it's anything cooler than probably 80 or 90 degrees, then these are a real winner for me. So these are gonna stay in my bag. And on the top for rain, I have my Marmot precip jacket. I did have a very nice LL Bean rain jacket that I liked, but it didn't have pit zips. And I found in a couple of rain showers that I got pretty wet. I know I'm gonna get wet no matter what, but this jacket, even though it's still to me on the little heavy side, I think it's about 10 ounces. Overall, it's been good and also good as a windbreaker in camp. Fits over my puffy. It does also fold up into its pocket, so my rain gear can just sit right in the brain of my backpack and be there when I need it. On my head, as I mentioned with those other items, I do like to have a hood, but I sleep in a hat. And this is a Smart Wool little beanie. And I think I mentioned in the other video, it was falling off my head, and which was kind of frustrating me some nights. So this may end up in the stay-at-home pile. I did find a fleece hat at Columbia, which I was wearing in my last video. It's got the same reflective material on the inside. It seems to stay on better. I haven't slept in it yet, but I have worn it, and it's very comfortable. So I think even though it's a little bit bulkier and heavier, this might be the winner for the hat. I really don't need 2 hats, so perhaps I'll start with this one. I also use Outdoor Research gloves, which I think I showed you in another video in terms of what's working for me. I'm pretty happy with these. My mom is actually making me some rain mitts to go over these, so I'll have some little mittens to keep me dry since these are just knit. But one thing I'm thinking about is, even though these have the little E-tips on them, I might actually want fingertip gloves, because I wake up at night and I want to check my phone, want to find my glasses, whatever, and I end up taking them off and putting them on, and it's just same thing as the ordeal with the little beanie. I don't need to go through all that in the middle of the night. And if I've got the rain mitts from my mom, I think I'll be in good shape as far as keeping my hands warm, even with the Renaults. I did go out and buy myself a balaclava, and if you were watching my earlier videos, very early videos, I had ordered one, a set actually from Amazon Prime Day, and had never worn one before and thought, oh, I don't know if I want that. But I got it knowing I was going to be outside a lot for the wilderness first aid class, and I wanted one that you could pull down, or that you could even just wear like a neck gaiter. And this one you can do that, and you can wear it as a hat, or you could pull it up and cover your whole face except for your eyes. This is Outdoor Research. It's very lightweight. It is, I believe it's wool. Yep, it's 100% wool. So again, it'll insulate even if it's wet. And this is just a little extra thing that I could probably live without, but I liked it enough that it is going to go in my bag. This could replace the wool beanie. I'll have to make a decision on that. So as you can see, I've got a lot of clothes. I don't want to take a lot of clothes, so I am making some decisions, tough ones, about what I need to take. And in just a second, I'll lay it out, and you can see actually from the big spread that you saw at the beginning of this video what I'm down to. Okay, so here's what the final decisions look like. As I mentioned, I'll be wearing the sports bra, one pair of underwear, and the other pair will be my backup. I'll have a pair of socks and liners that I wear, a pair of sock and liner for the next day, sleep clothes, pair of pants, my Farm to Feet socks, and my wool shirt. And then in the summer I can sleep in the shorts and the tank, which also will double as the tank as a base layer. For my typical hiking day, that's not too a cool day, I guess I would say, I will have the leggings, the Patagonia, and then the athletic top over. I can drop one of those layers when it gets a little bit warmer. If it's cooler, I'll throw on the fleece from Old Navy and the puffy, which hopefully will be replaced by the return of my Mountain Hardwear puffy. I've got the real lightweight down skirt that I can wear over the leggings, again on a colder day. My gloves, both for hiking and for sleeping in, hat, balaclava, and my rain gear. So there you have it. You can see what I will be wearing as I hike the Appalachian Trail this year. And I'd be curious to hear from you if you have thru-hiked or done section hikes and you found some other things that work great for you. If you disagree with some of my choices, feel free to weigh in the comments down below. And as always, thank you for watching, and I hope you have some happy hiking ahead of you. Take care.